Hi guys, in today's video I want to run you through if I could only invest in 5 altcoins in 2025, which ones would I buy? And I've chosen these altcoins based on risk versus reward, and I want to clarify I'm actually personally invested in all of these coins. But before we jump into that, disclaimer, please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky, no results are guaranteed. This content is for experienced users only, and there's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. So hopefully this video can provide you with a lot of value. It's going to be quite long, so get in, get yourself a nice drink, something to eat, and just watch this. So yeah, for the purpose of this video, I want to clarify, I'm going to take ETH out of the equation, mainly due to the recent pumps that we've seen over the last 2 months or so. Although it's still a good investment, I'm going to leave it on the sidelines. Again, based on this, the returns are slightly diminished. It's over doubled in the last few months compared to the kind of return that we could have got back there. So yeah, so just before we get into that, I just want to talk to you about where we are in the cycle and why I'm so bullish on altcoins in general. So I'm not sure if you've ever seen this before, but this is the path to alt season. First phase, we normally see money flow into Bitcoin, which has caused the price to go up, which is why we've seen Bitcoin kind of go first. From then, the money inflows into Ethereum, and then we see massive price surges in Ethereum, which again we've started to see. And then the next phase we see is essentially altcoin season. We see the money which has flown from Bitcoin, they've taken profits, the big investors, they'll go into Ethereum, Ethereum starts to surge, they've taken profits, that flows down into large caps, the Solanas, the ADAs, typically the XRPs, but that's already started to go. But again, these large cap coins that we see, they start to then go parabolic. And again, we get the meme coin season after that, full vertical for all these coins. But again, don't want to go too much into that. I just wanted to kind of set the scene. And another key thing we've seen recently is Bitcoin's momentum compared to ETH has started to slow down. So you can see it's up, and it's dropped. And again, ETH, we're starting to see ETH come back into place, along with others, which is essentially the altcoins. And what this does mean is that altcoins are starting to receive more inflows of money comparatively to before. Obviously, Bitcoin's receiving way more, but the dominance is starting to shift, and that's generally what we want to see when altcoin season starts. Is a kind of big indicator that we see. ETH at the moment is starting to get closer to previous all-time highs, and in my opinion, ETH is the biggest indicator for altcoin season. We want ETH's price to go up, even if you're not invested in Ethereum. As investors start to take profits from Bitcoin, as I mentioned, the money will then flow into ETH and then into alts. So knowing this information and the kind of inflow of money, how can we prepare for this? It's altcoins. So this is one personally that I'm invested in that I think has a really, really good chance to do well. Again, ADA hit $3 back in the peak bull market last time, and currently sitting around, I believe, the 80 cent mark. Perfect. Cool. So I just wanted to talk about a few things of why I think ADA can do really well and the kind of environment that there was last time compared to this one. So the global crypto user base is much smaller back then in 2021, 300 million versus 562 million today. This $3 mark that we saw with ADA was largely driven by speculation, as its roadmap hadn't even been executed yet. I believe a lot of the narrative was it being academically approached peer-to-peer blockchain, as well as it being useful in Africa or something along the lines of that. I can't really remember, but that was the narrative back then. But what we have seen is Charles Hoskinson is the co-founder of ETH, he's the founder of ADA. He knows what he's doing, he's been in the game for a while, and he's respected by a lot of people. Next thing, last time we had no crypto ETFs that have been approved or introduced, and now we're starting to see approval odds for ADA at around 80 to 90%. Very bullish. Again, inflow of money, guys, really, really important. There's basically no institutional interest in the crypto space at all. And again, the US government are now starting to get involved in ADA, which is really interesting. Like I said, an example here is this strategic reserve, which they essentially said they're going to be buying up ADA. Cardano hasn't yet been, is now starting to be seen by high profiles such as Dubai police. So Cardano and the blockchain ADA, it's now been introduced in the police. The police are actively using Cardano in their kind of work and their fundamentals, which is actually really, really crazy to see. So again, someone like Dubai wouldn't be using it if they didn't think it was useful or had any utilities. We're seeing key developments such as Hydra, Bitcoin OS integration, Midnight, the privacy coin. These were not introduced. There's going to be an airdrop for Midnight that's going to come out soon. And another key thing I just wanted to mention is that there's been a lot of negative FUD for ADA, so a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I actually think that's been a good thing for ADA investors, because although lots of people have been hating on it, it's actually kind of suppressed the price lower than it naturally is, which has kept it undervalued. And I think a better opportunity, because at the end of the day, it will get exposed. The actual utility is now starting to get recognised, so I think for investors, that's actually been a really, really positive thing. So looking at a price, realistically, ADA currently sitting at 30 billion market cap. If it was able to reach just half of what ETH did last run, that would put it at 9x from current levels. And that would be really, really bullish. Again, I think a realistic price range for ADA is around $5 to $7. That being said, it's not my target. I'm going to be taking out profits as it goes up in 20% increments to ensure that we win, guys. That's the most important thing. But $8 to $12 ADA is on the cards. But we would need everything to be perfect, such as quantitative easing, Bitcoin to hit 250k US dollars, ADA to maintain a 4.5% market dominance, and again, we'd need some serious rate cuts to happen for this. Number 2, Render, AI coin. Despite the current price action, there's still a lot to be bullish on Render. Like almost every time in crypto, having a strong conviction in your coins is what helps you to see out the investments. When Render moves, it moves. Example, October 2023 to March 2024. It went from $1.5 to $13.5 in the space of a couple months. What's Render and why can it do well? So AI and 3D demand. Render powers GPUs and rendering for AI, gaming and 3D content. And the industries are booming right now through the likes of Nvidia and Apple. We've got strong partnerships here, and these businesses that are actually making money. It's got an actual use case for rendering and gaming, which a lot of these kind of AI coins don't actually have any use case. They just kind of called AI, but they don't really actually do anything. Render's got actual partnerships with Nvidia, which is the company that has the largest stock in the world by market cap. So businesses, they're actually printing money, making a lot of money, along with Apple. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm sure you guys have seen GPU prices. If you tried to buy a computer over the last few years, they shot up 10 to 15%. They're getting ridiculous now. But for us, being investors in this, it's kind of like a little bit like being in like a Nvidia AI coin, which is quite funny. But again, it's on the Solana network, so it's fast, lots of adoption, and the memes, the DeFi, the NFTs, all these kind of things, it's all helpful. So from here, currently at 2.2 billion market cap, that's very good, and it has a lot of room to grow. I'm going to benchmark this against Solana because Solana is a newer altcoin compared to ETH. It's essentially a cycle behind. So Solana went from 93 million to 71 billion, and I'm not saying Render can do a 71x this run, but what I am going to say in this case is that if it can just do a third of what Sol was last run, this would give Render a market cap of around 24 billion. And from the current price point, that's a clean 10x opportunity, and I think it's one worthwhile doing some research into. Solana is the next one. You guys all know about this. I'm not going to ramble on about it, but we all know it's incredibly fast and affordable. The ecosystem is growing. Again, I mentioned earlier the memes, DeFi, NFTs, etc., etc., etc. And we are seeing institutional investments start to flow into Solana. Again, Bitwise, Grayscale, Vanek, and these ETFs are signaling serious institutional momentum. Currently sitting at around 100 billion market cap. Again, we're going to compare this to Ethereum because that was the altcoin in the previous cycle. So from here, if Solana want to kind of get to that 5x return, the 500 billion, which was what ETH hit, I think it's very possible for many of the reasons that have been mentioned above. But again, it's got this benefit of being a newer coin, so it can move faster, and it's got institutional investment now. And ETH didn't last time, so it's growing. I think it's got a potential to do a 5x. But again, guys, we want to be taking profits on our way up. We don't want to wait for a number, because that way it's too risky, and we're here to win, right? The next one I want to talk about is Dog. So Dog is a meme coin that I'm not really a massive fan of meme coins in general, but it is just one that really caught my eye. So my story here is I discovered it around the 1 billion market cap. I took profits from HBAR and I funneled it into Dog, and like a lot of other things, it started to crash. But I've continued to average in as it's gone down, and now it's starting to do quite well. So yeah, Dog didn't have any tier 1 listings back then, but now it does, which is why we've kind of seen a bit of a momentum in this spike here. So yeah, in terms of Dog, now listed on Kraken, incredibly large community, 200,000 views on Twitter is crazy for a meme coin. Like, not many other meme coins have this kind of level of engagement. It's unbelievable. Again, a couple rumours now that Dog is going to be listed on Binance, and again, this is the exchange with the most amount of users. If there's more users, more accessibility, more money that flows in general. At least that's what's happened in the past. Another really funny thing is it's now starting to catch the attention of actual businesses who are making money. C2 blockchain is actively kind of averaging into Dog, which I just find hilarious. But again, this is business making money. Do you think they would be buying a meme coin if they didn't think it was going to make some money? Again, businesses like this, they're not here to lose money, they're here to win, guys. So yeah, that's just another part. You might be thinking, what the hell is Dog? What's so special about it? And I would say, number 1 meme coin on Bitcoin, there's a new narrative. It's got an incredibly small market cap of 370 million, incredibly engaged and active community. This is exactly what Doge and SHIB had last run, if any of you guys were around them. And it's a Dog. You might think that's a bit silly, how is that even a point? But look how other Dog tokens have performed. Dog versus Dog is something like a whiff versus SHIB versus Doge and Dog. There's going to be a competition between the dogs. It kind of helps price. You need competition for price to go up. And on this, you've got the added benefit of you being essentially early, because it's before any like multiple large exchanges, tier 1s that have listed it. So we've seen Kraken, it's the first tier 1. So we should start to see kind of a domino effect come into place. Again, another really cool thing is that Dog has been distributed with the circulating supply has been kind of distributed via a free and fair airdrop, which means that you can't be rugged, because there's no insider massive allocation like a 70-80% to the founder. It's free and fairly distributed, which means you cannot be rugged. And all the people that got in early got dropped it for free, which is quite nice. So Dog, I think it could potentially do a 50x. I'm not saying it's going to do it, but it has the potential to do that, and even more, again, considering the right conditions. So Doge hit 74 billion last bull run at the peak. Dog is currently sitting at a market cap of 350 million. Theoretically, if it hit the same price as Doge last run, that would be around a 200x, and I'm going to say that's pretty unlikely to happen. But if we're going to see this domino effect of tier 1 exchanges continue to list Dog, then what's to say it can't hit 25% of what Doge did last run? That would put Dog at a market cap of 18.5 billion, and that would land Dog around a 50x return. It's newer, more potential for upside, and could be more explosive. But I just want to say, patience wins in this game, and remember that different coins take turns. You might see ADA pump, you might see Solana pump, you might see Tron pump, or whatever it is, HBAR. But Dog will likely come, and that will be after a lot of the key altcoins have gone and moved, in my opinion. Like I said, go back to that chart I showed you earlier. Inflow of money, coins will go from the large caps into the meme coins eventually. And the next one is HBAR. I want to jump into this. Why HBAR? Well, big name partners, is backed by Google, IBM, Boeing, etc. for its governing council. It's starting to see ETF fillings again. Ran through this before. Spot HBAR ETF. It's crazy. It's being seen. Big money is seeing this and seeing an opportunity. Very low, very low fees, very fast, and can handle a lot of transactions a second. where do I see H bar going? So we have seen H bar start to rip in the last few months. So for any new investors, it's a little bit frustrating because you can see some of the returns are going to be diminished, but it doesn't mean it can't do well. So looking at the market cap, it's just shy of 12 billion. Therefore, looking at the price, for H bar to get to $1, it would need a market cap of $43 billion. And obviously there would be crazy resistance here. And I'm not saying it can't go higher than this, but realistically, I think a $1 is certainly possible based on a 43 billion. We've seen a lot of coins like ADA's, Solana's achieve way past 43 billion. We've got this institutional investment, we've got the partnerships, we've got all these kind of strong narratives, the ETFs that are coming into place. So I'm not saying it can't go higher, and if the conditions are right, with a complete blow off top, we might be able to see it reach a $75 billion market cap or even higher. But again, I wouldn't wait for this, guys. We're here to win. Remember to take profits on the way up, 20% chunks. For example, if this was the run, well, the previous run before, what we would do, we take 20% out, 20% out, 20% out. Obviously, we wouldn't know if there was going to be a massive dip here, but again, in theory, you do that. And so by this time, you made all the profits in your first 2 sell points and all your money back, and then you got the last 20% here to leave for a moon bag and take it out. So guys, apply this strategy when you come to sell. I want everyone to win, and yeah, best of luck, guys. Hopefully this provided you with some value, and yeah, thanks guys. Have a good day.